A nationwide investigation has been launched into the commercialization of religion as well as the mushrooming of charismatic churches. The Commission for the Promotion and Protection of the Rights of Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Communities has initiated the investigation. Now, recently, a pastor in Soshanguve, north of Pretoria, made headlines for feeding his church members snakes, rats and hairpieces during church service. And so we've decided to invite Thoko Mkwanazi-Xaluva, who is the chairperson of the CRL Rights Commission, to talk to us more about that story. Thoko, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us on PM News.
Thank you for having us.
Thoko, religion plays a very important role in our communities and it is also protected by our constitution. How do you differentiate which church is commercialization versus religion? Which one is not?
What we'll be looking at is what is happening across the board. We're not targeting any particular religious institution, but our investigation is to look at what is happening, who is making money using what, and the study will then also move into how people's belief systems are being exploited and abused. And want to know on a broad scale. We appreciate what the media has highlighted, but our snap review of the situation is that it's happening in other areas as well. So we want to find out exactly what's happening across the board. We're not excluding any belief systems, but we're saying so that we're on a safe side. Let's just go as broad as possible. We've seen what has happened. We've seen the shocking things. And as the CRL Rights Commission, in our quest to promote religious belief systems, we're then saying we're going to a very aggressive investigation into this matter.
Tell us more about that. In your investigation, have you spoken to the people, the perpetrators that were involved, and about what has been happening in their churches? What were their responses?
What we haven't wanted to do is to target certain people, because we don't want them to feel, oh, you're after me because you saw me on TV. We want it to be sampled in a scientific way. Hence, we're partnering with UNISA on this one to make sure that we do the proper study. But we're also partnering with the Christian Lawyers Association, National House of Traditional Leaders and others, so that we know that we're going broad, we're going to villages, we're going to other places that the cameras might not have been. And we find out exactly how it's happening there, if it's happening. But we also need to know that in terms of commercialization, these are public funds. When funds have been donated into a church or whatever, mosque or whatever, those are public funds and they need to follow a particular way of spending. Good governance is very key. Annual financial statements are very key. And we're then saying, we want to investigate all these things. We want to see how religion is being managed in the country. But also we're very much conscious of the mushrooming of churches since 94, where we were in 94 and where we are now. We're also wanting to be talking to government to say who's registering, what is the legal framework? Do you know who has turned up where? Do you know who has moved into a warehouse somewhere? Do you know who's in a village somewhere? Who's registering these people? What is the legal framework under which they work? You want to open a spaza shop, you must have a license. So what is this thing that cannot be regulated? And we're saying, let's look at self-regulation, but let's empower that process. First, let's find out what is out there. And then let's say, here are our recommendations as we move forward. But we need to stress that people's belief systems are not part of the investigation. It's what is outside the framework that we're interested in.
Thoko, very interesting that you've mentioned the fact that you've seen all the shocking incidents that I won't even, talk to you about pastors standing on patrons alleging to be squeezing the devils out of them. I mean, everybody's asking, but why has it taken your group so long to raise these matters, ma?
You see, because we're structured in a particular way. Commissions start and they have a term of office. Our term started mid last year, around May. So we then had to wait for the new financial year. You know how government systems work. Yes. Because as a Chapter 9 institution, there's the issue of funding as well, which we have been looking at where are the funds, because it's a major study.
is, yeah.
It's going to take a lot of money for us to do this, and we're not properly funded. We are looking for resources everywhere, but we're saying the nation cannot wait anymore.
Absolutely.
While the show continues, there needs to be a framework in place.
Ma, before I let you go, are there things being done by your organization to further raise awareness of such acts within our society and also call to criminalize such perpetrators? What is your organization doing towards this?
We say the challenge is it's very hard to criminalize a religious practice unless you've got the framework in place.
True.
Unless you've got a council of elders who are from that religion, who are then empowered by the legislation to say what you're doing is not in line with the Bible and Christianity, or with Judaism, or with Islam. It's only then that you can have the people themselves, like lawyers. Lawyers would say you're not behaving like a lawyer. Social workers would say that everyone is regulated everywhere, even doctors.
Yes.
So there can't be holy ground where we say, oh, you can do whatever so long as you say you had a vision at night and this is what they said you must do. So there needs to be a system that protects people from their own belief systems at some point. Because the issues of human rights, and if you look at it, for instance, there's a lot of gender equity issues. If you look at who was on the floor being trampled on, who was rolling on the floor, who was doing this and that, you find that there's a gender bias. So we are partnering with other Chapter 9 institutions as we move into this thing to say these are human rights of people, but we're saying we are quite aware of the Bill of Rights. We are aware of the fact that people have a right to choose, but part of the study is to what is making our people so gullible.
Let's leave it there, Ms.
Yes.
Thoko. Thank you so much for that clarification and your time, and of course, good luck with your investigation. That was Thoko Mkwanazi-Xaluva, the chairperson of the CRL Rights Movement.